The Great Debaters Contest 2016 registration is now open. Teachers or school administrations should register on www.greatdebaterscontest.com/register.
From the region that gave you one of the hottest debates in Season 5, this is Nyeri. I'm Austin Yumbok, the Great Debaters Contest.
And I am Mariam Bishar. Welcome to the show. Today we're discussing very sensitive matters on whether the use of contraceptives for schoolgirls should be allowed in order to curb early pregnancies. And to handle this very serious topic, we have Tumutumu girls and Kiandu Secondary going head to head. For our first debate of the season, we hope it'll be a hot one. Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
On stage is Solomon Kafau from Kiandu Secondary School, proposing the motion the use of contraceptives should be light for teenage schoolgirls in order to address the problem of early pregnancy. Contraceptives, these are drugs or devices serving to prevent pregnancies. Teenage, this is the age between 13 years to 19 years. On to my points. Use of contraceptives will have a positive impact on teenage schoolgirls, because if they do sex with contraceptives, they wouldn't get pregnant, thereby reducing the issues of early pregnancies. These girls, if they go and imagine those behaviors like sex with contraceptives, they wouldn't get pregnant. And this means that they will go back to school and continue with their studies, and thereby leading exemplary lives in the future. Use of contraceptives by the teen prevents them from getting unwanted pregnancies and conceiving children, of which will be seen as powerless in the society. These children will be seen as outcasts in the society, and this will lead to shame to them. Use of contraceptives prevent teenagers from posing substantial burden to the society. Statistics have shown well that the use of contraceptives has led a very large, difficult problem to the society, as the large families have less access to educational services, or not at all have none. Use of contraceptives help in reducing dependency ratio of a nation, as the youth age has a low labor force supply, and hence the society is required to take care of these families. And you find that there is regional imbalance, and this evicts poverty. Use of contraceptives by the teen reduces transmission of STIs like HIV, gonorrhea, and syphilis. Teachers, we can't keep battling this problem we can't keep bowing our heads in the sand, pretending that our teenagers are not sexually active. You and I know well that these teenagers have knowledge about contraceptives.
Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes for your opening statement.
Sometime earlier, in 1000 BC, a great Roman spokesman and orator, Marcus Tyler, said that the wise are instructed by reason, ordinary minds by necessity, and brutes by instincts. Tumutumu girls John Wanjiko strongly opposing the motion that states contraceptives should be a right to every teenage girl so as to address the problem of early pregnancies. Marcus Tyler said this 1,000 years ago, but listening to arguments made today about contraceptives makes me feel that Marcus Tyler wasn't talking about those 1,000 years ago. He was talking about modern day today. He was talking about our lives in Kenya today. Contraceptives are devices or drugs used by women and girls to help them not get pregnant. Ladies and gentlemen, and my worthy opponents, tell me who in a right mind will give a teenage young girl contraceptives? This teenager is at the peak of discovery. This teenager wants to discover sex. Giving this teenager contraceptives makes it appear that sex at her age is right. Two rights don't make a wrong. Making contraceptives available to these girls isn't right, can't be right, will never be right. Many reasons have been advanced for girls, teenage girls, to have contraceptives in schools. I consider these reasons reprobate falsehoods, absurd issues. Contraceptives don't stop us from having STIs. I'd rather get pregnant than walk around with gonorrhea or syphilis. We have HIV/AIDS. Contraceptives don't protect you from diseases. They make you exposed to all kinds of diseases. I started with marker stylers. I don't want to walk around. I don't want to walk around, meet everywhere with condoms. I don't want to come across my younger brother blowing a condom thinking that it's a balloon. It's time we deal with this issue head to head. We won't run away from it. Contraceptives are wrong. Thank you.
We'll hear rebuttals now. Proposer number 2, you have 3 minutes.
On stage is Morgan Itonge Kafiro. I'm here ready to propose for the motion the use of contraceptives should be right for teenage schoolgirls in order to address the problem of early pregnancy. On to my points. The contraceptives will help to reduce the issues on abortion. Abortion. Also, statistics shows that in USA, 50% of the pregnancies by teenagers are unplanned. And 43% of the pregnancies are done away through abortion. What if we give our girls the contraceptives? Will they have those children? Will they get pregnant? So the issues of abortion will reduce. On to my second point. Teachers who are here, how many students have dropped out of school, especially girls, due to pregnancy? Despite teaching them on life skills 3 days a week, they are still continuing having sex. What if we give them these contraceptives, even if they have sex, because we all know that teenagers are having sex? What if we give them the contraceptives, even if they have sex, because they already own it? If we give them these contraceptives, will they become pregnant? Because they own the sex, you are going to tell them, sex is here, but be safe. Okay, because even if we don't give them contraceptives, they will still going to have sex, and the issues on early pregnancy will be many. Okay. Also, just imagine a teenager giving birth to a child giving birth to a child. Just think about that. She will suffer from diseases like fistula and incompetence. Also, that is my end. And I would like to say that, remember the other day Obama was coming, Kidero, the governor of Nairobi, was collecting the street children because they are ashamed. Thank you.
Opposer number 2, you have 3 minutes.
Who do we blame? The girl carrying the baby, or the boy or man who gives this girl the baby and leaves her desperate? Do we submit this girl to a life of want? Or do we empower her and give her education to the highest levels to better her future? And that is why I, Njao Rejoice, from Tumutumu Girls High School, strongly oppose the motion that states the use of contraceptives should be allowed to teenage girls to curb the challenge of early pregnancies. On to my first point. These contraceptives increase the size of our bodily features. Who in the world wants to look imbalanced, No one. These days, girls are striving to have the same features on their bodies. And yet, what do these contraceptives do to us? They make us look imbalanced. They also give us acne. Most of the girls spend time looking at themselves in the mirror, believing that they're not beautiful. These contraceptives add acne. On to my second point. Peculiar embarrassments. Who wants to be embarrassed in front of the people? Who wants to be discovered that they use contraceptives to prevent the illegal sex they are having? Sex is here. Sex is real. Sex cannot be prevented only by abstinence, which comes from the brain. You have to think. You have to think before you make a decision. Sex is everywhere. God gave us sex, and He gave it for married couples. So if we give contraceptives to these young people, what do you think they will do? They are not ignorant. They are free, and yet people are still getting STIs. How about that? Do we want our teenagers to die of STIs? No. As we all know, contraceptives are made of latex. And there's some people with latex allergies. How sure are you using that contraceptives, e.g. a condom? Because that is what most high school students use, condoms. How sure are you that you are allergic to that latex? How sure? They are not even 100% safe. So, I would urge my worthy opponents to cross the line and join me in opposing this motion. Because to me, it doesn't make sense. Does it to you? Thank you.
The Great Debaters Contest 2016 registration is now open. Teachers or school administrations should register on www.greatdebaterscontest.com/register. The Great Debaters Contest 2016 registration is now open. Teachers or school administrations should register on www.greatdebaterscontest.com/register.
Thank you very much. The audience has posed questions to the two teams. The proposers have been asked to give the source of their statistics and information on abortion in the US, and the opposition have been asked what proof do they have that contraceptives are unsafe. We'll let the teams answer the questions now. Third proposer, you have 3 minutes.
David from Kiandu Secondary School. First, I would like to answer the question from the audience. It is the Godsmatch Institute which gives the statistics. The world has become a global village. Hence, we as teenagers are getting exposed to Facebook and internet where we get information of these contraceptives. So, if we say we should not be given, I wonder, and we have the knowledge of how we use these contraceptives. So we already have the knowledge, and so we should be given these contraceptives. On the second point, this will prevent the school dropout, mostly by the teen girls. If they get the unplanned pregnant, they'll bear children in school, and hence they'll have to drop out of the school. On to the third, there'll be suffering of the newborn and the mother. Imagine as your teenage girls getting pregnant in school, then giving birth. Where will you get this money or finances to feed this newborn? Think of it, where will you get this money? And also to the newborn, they are often born with low weights, and hence they experience the difficulties of growth and development. Also, maybe the family is not even able to cater for the needs of the family. So the girl will not take the child to the parents, and this will bring hardship in nursing this child. On my fourth point, few days we've seen the governor of Nairobi collecting these street families. Where do you think they are coming from? Most of them are coming from dropouts of school. Maybe mostly due to these pregnancies and unplanned pregnancies. They are being put in YS tracks. Why? Why bring all this shame to our nation? Let them be given so that we will reduce these street families in Nairobi or any other part of Kenya. they'll prevent the forced marriages. Imagine these girls, they are not being given these contraceptives. They'll be forced to marry since they'll have these children and not be able to cater for them. And so they'll have to look for their fathers, and then it will lead to the forced marriages I'm talking about. The parents and the teachers will have that peace in mind that when we take these girls to the school, they'll have to conclude with their education. They lived a girl in our entire society, neighboring community. And this girl was told to use this contract, and she did not use these contraceptives. So, use these contraceptives to ensure that our country is safe and you are safe. Thank you.
Opposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to answer the questions.
To answer your question, contraceptives do not solely serve their purpose in preventing pregnancies. For example, condoms can rupture, and continuous use of birth control pills becomes monotonous, and thus makes the body resist these pills because it weakens the immune system. Sex and contraceptives has become the in thing in our modern world among teenagers in our country. Has sex become a necessity, or perhaps a basic need? I beg to differ. That is why I, Hussein Naima from Tumutumu Girls High School, strongly opposed the motion the use of contraceptives should be a right among teenage schoolgirls to address the problem of early pregnancies. Let's take the example of our country. The rate of immorality has risen to uncontrollable levels. This is due to teenagers. They engage in sex knowing that they have contraceptives to back their actions. Statistics from the Piera Encyclopedia reveals that teenagers start engaging in sex as early as at the age of 15 years. And this even becomes worse when it narrows down to Kenya, where teenagers start engaging in sex at the age of 13. This thing has become a great concern, not only to our parents, but the country as a whole. Secondly, religion does not advocate for sex before marriage. The Holy Book says that there's a time for everything. There's a time to reap, there's a time to sow. There's a time to speak, and there's a time to listen. Now is the time to listen. That sex is the sweetest gift that God gave to human beings, and hence should not be misused. Teen sex is known to be destructive and not only demotes one's character, but also cheapens one's soul and self-worthiness. We should be conscious that controlling our sexual urge is something vital at this stage of life. It is not just something you just come up, it has to come in within you, and it is a must. Therefore, friends, it is high time we know that there's only one way, one sure way of curbing early pregnancies, and that is not by the use or introduction of contraceptives. No, abstinence is the key way. Chastity should be our top priority and pride. Therefore, to my dear opponents, it is never too late to cross the bridge and join us in opposing the motion. Thank you.
We'll hear final comments now. Proposers, you have a minute.
Still again, I have not changed my name. I'm still Morgan. But the reasons we have gave, I think everybody should be saying yes to contraceptives. I became afraid when I was seated there down. The opposers of the motion, who introduced the motion, said that contraceptives are devices used by women and girls. The second say that about a condom. We are lucky. The PGH is just near here. Go and see the patients suffering from those diseases. It is better, I'm saying it's better to live with STIs than to die getting a child. I will finish by concluding that teachers who are here, and you are female, you will be meeting with your students there at the clinic. I wonder, what will you be telling them? Thank you.
Opposition, you have a minute as well.
I'm still Rejoice. I know I'm familiar. I'm here to continue opposing the same motion. My proposers, you started by saying that contraceptives are devices that prevent pregnancies, and contradicts by saying that it prevents STIs. And let me correct you, HIV is not an STI to begin with. So, I still oppose. I still think that this teenage girls should not be given the contraceptives. Why? They will continue indulging in sexual immorality. These teenagers will be perverts. We do not want to raise a generation of perverts. We all know, and we are told, that we want to be famous. We want to do big things. Kenya has always wished to have a woman president. And there is no way a woman president can be a corpse. We don't want all the ladies to die. There is no way we can be led by someone who is dying. Thank you.
For you, Kiandu, I think the quick things that I was expecting is to understand how the problem is in terms of percentages, what this means, why we really need to actually introduce this as a right for all teenagers. And I must say that I did not get that because my questions still have gone unanswered. Remember the launch by the president of condoms for school children. I mean, such things, I didn't hear such things coming up because that would have been a base for you to support what you're exactly talking about. Which other countries have done this? So I would say you have good ideas, but they're quite stray. You need to work on your mastery of language as a team. You also need to work on content as a team. I would want to go to really individuals of each, but I must say that there's a lot of work to be done on your end, all right? Keep practicing, keep doing this, check on debates online, how people have been doing this, so you can understand your roles as a first speaker, second speaker, and third speaker. What is your role? Please understand that, all right? So I must say that the justice was not done to this motion, but all the best for making it.
I still feel that the motion was not well executed because as I sit here, what's the takeout? So should contraceptives be used to curb teenage pregnancies or not? And I don't think that, the proposers or the opposers of the team did justice to the motion. So mastery of language was lacking. Coherency of argument was also lacking. There was no proper sourcing. I think you make certain references. For example, I think in one of the teams we are told that, when we use contraceptives, then they cause acne and they create an imbalance, hormonal imbalance. I think that's what you meant. According to who? So you need to attribute some of the things that you're saying to sources, and that seems to be lacking. I think when Naima comes on stage, I feel like, yes, the debate is beginning, but it's a little too late. All the best to the two schools.
Kiandu Secondary, you were awarded 55%. Please give them a round of applause. Tumutumu Girls, you were awarded 56%. You're our winners for the debate.
Thank you, and a big congratulations to both teams for a very entertaining debate. We'd also like to thank you, our viewers, for taking the time to tune in. Find us on Twitter at Great Debaters EA and on Facebook at Great Debaters Contest. Thank you for watching. I have been your host, Mariam Bishar.
And I am Austin Yumbok. Catch you next time.
The Great Debaters Contest 2016 registration is now open. Teachers or school administrations should register on www.greatdebaterscontest.com/register.